See, there's a theme with three with us, isn't there? Three's the magic
Always,
number.
always.
Triage. So this is why it's important to have triage. But you say there's three very clearly defined three steps to client hell, to having a hell of a client list.
Yeah, yeah. And the first is you attract the wrong people. And you know, I've really got to fucking push this point because people don't seem to get it. If you're in business, you are marketing. You might not do any, you might not do it overtly, you might not have a system in place, you might know nothing about it. But whatever you're doing that can be seen by anyone outside your business, by prospective clients, that's marketing. That's what you're doing. So if you're doing nothing, then you'll get random results because it's just, you know, what comes. And if you do nothing, you will tend to attract the wrong people because you'll get someone who says, oh, that guy's a bricklayer, electrician, plumber, butcher, baker, candlestick maker. I need something like that doing and I want it done cheap, so I'll speak to him. Yeah, if you don't put some other element of value out there, you will get price bias because that's the only thing common to everyone. Everyone who does your job charges a price, charges some money. And if you don't give another reason to distinguish between you and this other person, that's the only thing. It's the only common denominator. Mm-hmm. Right? That's it. That's why it's so common. So the first thing is you attract the wrong people. When you attract the wrong people by not going out of your way deliberately to attract the right ones. You know, it's a shit. I know it's a shit, but it's true. If you are not discriminating about whom you attract, you'll just attract any fucking Tom, Dick and Harriet, and you will pay the consequences. That's the first. Second thing is you then accept the wrong client for a variety of reasons. One, because if you've got no system to attract them, you don't really understand that you can attract the right people. You tend to take what comes. And because you tend to take what comes and you then have bad experiences with client, you will just take anything that comes, anyone that comes, because you need the work. You need the work because you're doing shitty work for shitty clients, low prices, so you're a busy fool. So you have to take work that comes because you need to keep the fucking wheels turning. You're on this mad hamster wheel. You can't stop earning money because you're earning such small profits from each job. You've got to keep busy. This is what concerns me about this current economy where the guys in the trades, you know, the guys we've been speaking to, that they're all busy, but it's shit work because people are buying on price, as always. So you attract the wrong people, then you accept the wrong people. And of course, the third thing is when they start fucking you about, you accept their behavior. You allow their behavior. You attract, you accept, then you allow them to behave. And people will treat you how you allow them to. They will. This goes for spouses, children, families. You know, if you don't set boundaries, people will just push and push and push and push. And sometimes, as we've had a conversation before about my ex, they won't respect boundaries at all. So you have to disconnect. Mm-hmm. To the point, sometimes you have to block people, literally, on social media. You know? And maybe even get a fucking court order to stop people harassing you. If they won't stop. But you do. But people will treat you how you allow them to. I mean, it's a difficult topic to talk about sometimes for some people because, you know, people will say, yeah, but, you know, for instance, you get a woman usually or a man living with a spouse who's abusing them. You know, it's very non-PC to say it, but they do have a choice. I know it's not a nice choice and I know they might be fearful, but they still have a choice.
Yeah.
You know, a man who puts up with being beaten up by a woman or the reverse. Yeah, in the moment, there might be nothing you can do about it, especially if you're a woman because you are physically overwhelmed. But once the moment has passed, there are things you can do. And often people won't do it. And, you know, I know there are edge cases where men will pursue women and then murder them in the fucking refuge. I know that happens. That is a shit. But the fact remains, that's a very rare occurrence. Most people who stay with abusive spouses do so by choice. And I've known people, men in particular, because obviously most of my friends are male, they've said they've stayed in an unhappy marriage because they didn't want to pay the price, the cost of ending it. Well, that's a fucking choice. If that's the choice you've made, stop fucking moaning about it and get on with it.
Yeah. People fail to realize that these are choices. These aren't just, because there's money involved, I have to stay. No, you don't. It's just a cost of leaving. There's a cost to every choice. It's an opportunity cost, a direct cost. There's always a fucking cost, and you always have to weigh the cost versus the benefit from every decision you're making. It's very fucking simple. I speak to my pals, males, in jobs, obviously, and they'll say, oh, I'm feeling left out by co-workers. You know, they won't involve me in this decision making, even though I should be, because it's my job. They're just too pally-pally. And there's nothing I can do about it. Well, of course there's something you can do about it. You can ask them, why am I being left out? You can ask to be included. You can kick off. You can leave your job. You can't just sit there and say there's nothing you can do about it. That's unacceptable. You can say, I don't want to cause a storm due to X, Y, and Z, and it sucks that I'm going to have to put up with this, but I'm going to put up with it. That, for me, that's more acceptable than saying I haven't got a choice, because they've made a choice to put up with it because they've done a cost benefit analysis. Those that just say I have no choice but to do it, fuck off, liar.
Can't do anything else, but they say you can. You just don't want to. You're not willing to.
Yeah, it's when